Good evening, everyone. It's Stacy here at Scrapbook Essentials BC. Hopefully some of you will be able to join me this evening. Sorry it didn't work out last night for me to go live, but I did everything in my power to be live tonight. So here I am. So I'm going to demonstrate a machine for you. Now, this is a machine that I've had for a little while, well over a year. I think it's maybe close to a year and a half, 2 years. So I'm going to show you all about this machine, what it comes with, the special we have on, and if you have arthritis, any issues with your hands, this is a fabulous electronic machine that you will want to get. It has been out for quite some time, like many, many, many years, and it seems to be standing the test of time. So let me know when you're on live with me. And I'm going to get the camera in the holder, but we're going to take you through all the different steps, all the different products that you can use in this machine, and you're going to see just how wonderful it is. So let me flip the camera and get you in looking at the product. There we go. All right, so let me just get this in here, and I'll probably have to push this stand up a bit so you can get a full picture. Now, give me a second, because I was going to, because it's way up high now, my camera. I did have my laptop over here to try to be able to see questions. So give me a quick second. And let me turn my volume off on my laptop. Okay, volume is off. Thanks for being patient right now so I can get this up onto where I can see what's happening. But this is the Go Power and Emboss machine. You'll see it is electronic, so I have it plugged in right now. And my laptop isn't wanting to open up Facebook, so that's fun. It is simple as pressing power and it is ready to go. Okay, and it's easy as press that, and it's almost like a sensor, right? You don't have to press hard. It's just a light touch. Okay, so there we go. I have the page up, so hopefully I'll be able to see comments, but let me know when you are on live. So we have this machine on right now. So it's a pretty hefty machine, so it's very sturdy. So it has these two little grooves on each side where you can hold it. Okay, now you get this machine, you get the cord, of course, and you get your A plate. Oops, I might have to do it this way, right? I'm gonna have to do, because I have my phone in the holder a different way. So A plate, you get your B plate, you get your C plate, you get your universal metal adapter mat. Now, with many other machines, this is something separate you have to purchase. It comes with this machine. And this is also something separate with many other machines. You can see how I've used it quite a bit with all of my different fragments of cardstock on there. But this is the nice rubber silicone mat. So that comes in handy for when you're working with different products in this machine. So I'm just going to put a few of those away. Okay, so this machine can walk you through wafer thin dies. So when you have wafer thin dies like this, your little metal dies, you can use, now if you had the very, very original Sizzix machine like I had, let me see, actually, like the original one. Okay, I brought this in because yes, when that came out, I went and got it. It was a lever handle. I don't know if anybody. Anyway, so I still have tons of these dies. Yes, they work in this machine, but the old Sizzix originals work in this machine. So if you have those sitting around, then Sizzix. Okay, that's just another original. I brought a bunch from home. I mean, I have, oh my God, I have so many, like maybe a couple hundred AccuCut dies. Okay, this machine does take this, but I have 3 AccuCut machines, so that's what I just stipulate my AccuCut dies for my AccuCut machine itself. They are incredibly thick steel rule dies. They cut through really thick fabrics and acetate and chipboard, you name it. And you literally could probably cut off your finger with it, but we don't want to do that, so we're not going to use that. Then you have, let me see, I have a whole bunch of stuff ready here. Spellbinders dies, right? That size. And then I have a Sizzix die here, right? That is the Biggs L die, right? So you can see we're getting into different sizes, different brands, right? This is a universal machine. Then we have the big, even bigger, Spellbinders Contour Steel Rule Dies. Now that is a big die, right? That's all going to fit into this machine because this is in the package, of course. Let me just move this. Give me a second here. I have so much stuff in front of me because I want it to show you. I have the one right here. This is the beauty behind this machine. It has a nice wide opening with space. So if you see, there's still space here going left to right. So you have the freedom of a little bit of movement. If this goes in a little bit crooked, it's still going to work. If you have paper that hangs off of each side, you know what? It's still going to go through. And a little less likely of a chance to kind of crunch it right on the side. Now I want to show you this. I have my chair here. That's just my chair moving. So this, I'm just going to turn this off for a second. Go Power and Emboss machine. This is the surface area it takes up. This is my Big Shot machine. Now it has the same surface area. Okay, I don't know if you can fully see that, but it has the same surface area taking up on your space, on your counter, even maybe a little less, because here's the handle. You're not going to be hand cranking with this electronic machine. So this handle here actually takes up more space. Now, I want you to keep in mind with your Big Shot, it's a platform, right? Your rollers are inside this mechanism here, the underneath the handle, okay? This is your base. You don't have a base to the Go Power and Emboss machine. Now I just have to take something out here. So the reason why I say that, there's a reason. I'm gonna put that Big Shot down, and I'm gonna move my chair out of the way because you know what? I'll end up knocking it over. The reason why I say that, you have to make sure that you're not on a small table space. Yes, it takes up a really small area of the table, and I think I'm shaking my camera. But I'm just going to tilt this for a second. There's a back door. This is the back of the machine. There's also a little sensor right there. Okay, you'll see the sensor. But this is the amount of space. Let me see, I did bring my ruler. 2 inches, 2.5 inches. It's just shy of 2.5 inches off of your table, okay? Where your plates and everything go in your machine. So if you see this, I don't know if you can see that. Can you get to see that? My hand is under the table, knocking the table. So there is that space. Now, you have to hold it on this side. And when it comes out through the back door, you need to be ready to just, take it out of the machine. Otherwise, it'll keep spitting it out and it will go flying on you. You don't want that. You don't want to have to potentially break dies or break your plates and have to go buy new ones right away. So that's really important to know. Okay, so I'm going to show you all the steps to cut with this. Okay, we're going to turn this machine on. I'm even going to take you through embossing folders, regular embossing folders, and 3D embossing folders. I'm also going to show you just how universal this machine is. Okay, so when we are working with our dies, now here is a trick. If you watch different videos, they're going to tell you, to be cutting into plate B. Now, I originally did that. You can see that I cut it. Don't cut into plate B. There's a reason why. And this is a good trick. Okay, I'm going to put my, I don't know if you can see that. Yes, you can. You're going to put my my wafer thin die down here. And you'll want to be moving your wafer thin dies around your plates. Okay, then I have A plate, B plate. Then I have my steel rule. I keep calling it steel rule die because we were just talking about that. My wafer thin die, and I have those blades up. Then your paper. Then put your C plate on it. Okay, so this, you're ready to go with wafer thin dies when you get this machine. Now listen to this. You hit run. We can still talk. This machine is lovely and quiet. You'll hear those little creaks and cracks. That's absolutely just fine. Now keep your hand just underneath the plates. I'm just guiding it out because if I don't do that, this thing is going to drop. Okay, so you heard that door in there. The back door opens and then closes once it's all the way through. Okay, and you can see this. Yeah. So I just want to show you how lovely, and actually I haven't cut with this die in this machine yet, but this is how wonderful. This is a pretty detailed die that this cuts. Okay, there's lots of little spaces here. All of the little, let's see, all these little extra details, they just pop right out. And there we go. This is one of our new dies we do have in stock. I'm just going to show you this. I had made a sympathy card a little while back, and so I used this die on it. So there's just showing you that die. Okay, so that is one wafer thin die. Now, that was really simple, right? But here is where the joy of this machine comes in. When I say it's universal, and I said cut into the C plate, use that C plate. That is absolutely fine. But you only get one C plate, and we're going to need two of them to use some of our other dies, but you only get one in your machine. Now, if you have a machine at home, and you say you have the Spellbinders Platinum, which is the bigger one, and it is a hand crank one, these plates, which we do have in stock, they work just the same as plate C. Okay, so I'm going to show you with one of these. All right, so what we're going to do, let me grab my dies. The nice thing with having this larger surface area, I was cutting with this earlier. I'm just going to take my Spellbinders tool-in-one, and I just going over top of this, and it pops out all your little pieces. Of course, make sure that whenever you're popping out little pieces like that, don't leave them on your plate because that leaves an extra thickness. Okay, you don't want that extra thickness left on the surface. Okay, so I have one die on here. I'm going to put another die on there with another piece of paper. And I'm going to put a third die on here. Now, as you can see, there's lots of surface area. So we could put more dies on here. But instead of that plate C, which I could use, I'm going to use the Spellbinders Platinum plate. Okay. And I'm going to put this in my machine. And I'm going to hit run. And you're going to see this does just the same job. So you can use plates that you already have with this machine. It is universal for a reason. Okay. And the nice thing about this machine is that it stops once it is out of the machine. It doesn't keep running. You don't have to press stop. Okay. So I've just die cut. Oh, look how beautifully that cut. Like that's the negative. So I've just cut all three of those all at the same time with not a problem at all. The pressure on this machine is amazing. Okay. Again, I can just use my tool-in-one use my tool in one, poke out all these nice, fine, detailed dies, word dies. And we have lots of these in stock. When you first come through our store, they are right at the front. So look how beautiful that is. I literally did a birthday card for Keith. Now, I don't do, it's crazy. Poor Keith. I don't do a whole lot of cards for him. But look how beautiful that die cut. Can you see that? Oh, right. I have to turn it this way. I keep forgetting that there we go. So everything cut out just perfectly. And that's due to the pressure that this machine has. It has a nice even pressure. And they always do say, like, and especially with any machine, keep moving your dies around on your plates. And look at that one. Oops, I got to move it this way. I forgot. And that the space for the A, that comes out too. All right, so there we go. Those all cut just beautifully. Okay, let me just move this off to the side. So those are wafer thin dies. So that's how you do wafer thin dies. But we need to learn more. We need to learn what this machine can do. Again, I'm moving all of those little pieces off. You don't want to leave little pieces on your plates, right? Again, you don't want that extra thickness in a spot because you don't want there to be extra pressure in one little area. Okay, so now what we're going to do, let's continue with die cutting. Let's continue with die cutting. Now, as I said, universal plates, right? We're not gonna use any of their plates right now. If you have a big shot, you have your Sizzix cutting plates. Now, mine's well loved, and we're gonna use this Spellbinder die. Okay, it's one of the thicker dies. So we are sandwiching this like a sandwich. Think of the two acrylic plates, standard cutting plates, as your bread, and all of your ingredients are inside. So what we're gonna do, get my piece of paper here. We are just going to put our paper right on the die. We're gonna put that together. Now, this has a wide opening, right? With some machines, you actually have to use the big plates in order for it to go through because of the rollers. Now this has a sensor. If I put this over here, it's still gonna go through. If I put it over here, it's still gonna go through. I can put it in the center, it doesn't matter. Let's do it from the side, just so you can see. When push it in there, hit run, and it's gonna take it through. A little bit of creaking and cracking, that's okay. And then you just pull that out through the end, okay? Again, the machine stops and everything cuts absolutely perfectly, okay? So that is one of that shows you how you can use Sizzix plates. We've used their plates, the Couture Creations and Go Power and Emboss plates. We've used Spellbinder's plates. Now we've used Sizzix plates, okay? And I'm going to show you this one. This is the Sizzix by Eileen Hull, the book box. You might remember I did a demo with Eileen Hull. That was so much fun. So I'm just going to cut some paper. I could have grabbed mat board, but I did not have time. Now these are my big, long plates. So if I were to take the Couture Creations ones, the plates aren't long enough. Can you see that? The plates aren't long enough, so I wouldn't be able to use this size die with their plates. But because it's universal, I can use the plates that were made with this die. So we're going to put this on here. Again, well loved. I love my die cutting. Okay, we're going to hit run, and it's just going to push it on through. So simple, you know, with any issues with your hands, and you'll hear that creaking and cracking, it's really okay. It's not ruining the machine. It's the cutting plates. That's what they're meant to do. They're meant to be cut into, because all of these, and see, it just cuts beautifully. The pressure is amazing. Again, that was the actual, it's just a rectangle, but it's just the book box front and back. But it's letting you know that you can use this machine with other plates and larger dies, okay? Literally the only size you can't use with this machine is your 12-inch, any 12-inch dies. Okay, so let's do more. Okay, let's move on to embossing folders for a second, okay? Now, you have your regular embossing folders. They are thinner, okay? And then you have, I brought a new one out because I wanted to try it. Okay, I'm going to just open it up because I thought this embossing folder, 3D embossing folder, was so pretty. I want to try it. Okay, so then you have your 3D embossing folders. Now, they are considerably thicker. So will I have to use a different sandwich? Yes. Okay, oh, I better do it that way. So let's start out with our regular embossing folder. Okay. And we're just putting that in there. Let me grab all my plates. I do need my A plate because we need that thickness, right? We don't have the thickness anymore like the regular Biggs dies. And then we're gonna grab, I have to grab it, it's my rubber mat. Okay, so this is where the rubber mat's thicker. It comes in handy. You put the rubber mat down, then you put your embossing folder with the paper in it, and then you're gonna grab your C plate. So again, here we go. So remember, C plate is just like the plates, like the Spellbinders plates that work too. So I could use that if I didn't want to use my C plate. But a C plate might be a really nice idea to keep your C plate nice and smooth and flat, and use your other Spellbinders plates or your Sizzix plates and have that be your cutting ones. Okay, for those who like to have a cutting plate and want ones that are nice and smooth. Okay, now this you'll see, it seems like it moves around a bit. It's because that embossing folder hasn't hit the actual wheels yet. So I'm just going to give this a little tug. We're going to run it through. And you'll see this extend a bit. See, it's pushing out. It is rubber, right? So it has that pliability to it. Again, make sure you're grabbing this at the other end. There, it's done. It stops. So there is my light embossing folder, my regular one, okay? Now, if we want to, say if we want that embossing folder to have a little bit more depth, what you can do is take your universal metal adapter plate, put that on the bottom. You never want this plate to be on top because there are rollers in there and it will curve it. And once you curve metal, you're not going to get that curve out of there. So what I'm going to do, let me just grab a new piece, and I forgot to cut an extra piece, so just give me a second here. We'll just judge. There we go. So if I want the impressions to be just a little bit deeper, now this is a regular embossing folder. It's not going to have those nice, really deep, impressions, right? Like a 3D one will, which you will see in a bit. So I did put that metal adapter underneath there. And you can play, right? You can play with different paper thicknesses if you want. We're just going to hit run. But that metal adapter that comes with your machine, it gives that just a little bit more thickness, makes the sandwich just a little bit tighter. So there we've already passed the embossing folder. We pulled that out. Okay, so this just gives a little bit more. I'm going to, the bigger with the longer. No, I guess I did it the same. This one here had a light impression to it, which is still very pretty. But by using that metal adapter, it's just a little bit, I guess I keep forgetting that I have my camera that way. This is the one I used the metal adapter with. This one is just the regular. So we've done a regular embossing folder, but now let's move to the, let's move on to the 3D embossing folder. Okay, I brought it out. Remember I said it was so pretty I had to try it? Okay, this is one I did earlier. Oh, I put it up on top here. There we go. Of course. All right. So what we're going to do now, we're going to get rid of the metal and the rubber mat. We don't need that. And what you want to do with a 3D, with your 3D embossing folders, they have an incredible depth to them. They have lots of detail. What you want to do, and I will do this probably off camera because I don't want to spray on here. I'm going to use my Nuvo Light Mister, and I'm just going to give this paper a light mist, okay? So I just gave the paper a light mist. I don't know if you can see what that does. It helps to break the fibers down in the paper a little bit, and it allows that paper to be really giving a good solid image because there's so much detail. So what we need now is we need our A plate. We have our embossing folder that's lightly misted on the water, and then we're just going to grab our C plate. Okay, this one goes into the machine, and we're going to hit run. Now, I'm going to show you something. The nice thing about this machine, 3D embossing folders, they always say go back and forth. This has a reverse button, okay? So now we're kind of getting all the pressure on the one edge of all of the indents and on the other one, and it stops. Okay, so it has a reverse button, which is wonderful. So I'm just going to open up the embossing folder, and you can even see, you can tell how deep of an etch this gives. And so we look at that. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So it has indents, it's raised, it's indented. The detail is awesome. I'm going to show you some of my own, now if I can find them because I did them earlier. Here they are. So these are some 3D embossing folders that I have. So there's one, and that shows you how the paper started out. And this is how the detail. And then this one here, I did the same thing on just a smoother cardstock. And then look at this one. Isn't that beautiful? So 3D embossing folders can really give you some really great detail that regular embossing folders can't. So there you go. So that is your 3D embossing folders. What do you guys think of this machine so far? Oh my gosh. See, Nikki's commented. I'm just checking comments. She can't tell you how much she loves hers. Oh my gosh. I know it's always been in her room. She's used it during virtual events. So thank you, Nikki, for commenting. So this machine, I'm going to let you know, it is normally $360. We're doing a pre-order special for it right now for $225. I made arrangements with my distributor to offer you guys the best price possible. So not only do you get these plates, the A plate, B plate, C plate, the metal adapter, the rubber mat, you're actually going to get 2 embossing folders, and you're going to get a set of 30 dies. So it's incredible value for this machine. Okay. So we've done the bigs dies. Oh, I want to show you this because we have the large opening, right? We have to be able to use large dies in it. So this is so much fun. We're going to make a box. And in order to make boxes, you need to have a bigger die, right? Unless you have smaller dies where you have to glue pieces together. Okay, so my big die here, I just have an 8.5 by 11 sheet to go over it. We don't need the A plates. Now some people go, oh, I can't use these because I don't have 2 C plates with my machine. Well, remember, all that you need, you could use a C plate and 1 Spellbinders plate, or, of course, 2 Spellbinders plates. So let's just run this through the machine. Okay, so it's in there. Hit run. And again, I just can't reiterate enough. Just keep your hand under here. If you get distracted and you move away, it is going to go crashing. So that's why it is always a good idea too to be on a bigger table so it doesn't go crashing. And we just pull that through, that little back door closes and it turns off. Okay, so here is one of these big dies, and it puts, I don't know if you can see, oops, let me turn it this way. All of the indents are right in there for you, so you know exactly where to fold this. Let me put this together for you quick. This is a fun little box die. It's so simple. I've done this in classes before. I've used this as part of a make and take at one of our retreats. And so some of these big dies, they are fabulous for boxes, but there's lots of other dies that we do have in stock. So there we go. For this die here, let's see, I gotta do the bottom of it. Now I'm not using a bone fold or anything to make this all crisp and lovely, but I'm just showing you how much fun, like these could be great for party favors, for wedding favors. This one actually goes up like that. We're just gonna stick the handle through the little slit. The only glue that actually goes on this box, which I don't have my glue right beside me, is just right here. That's the only glue. And then it's that you fold these sides in and tuck that in. Again, fold those sides in, tuck that in, and you have this cute little box. You could turn that into just a suitcase or luggage for someone who's going away. Maybe you're going on a holiday with family. Put some treats in there for the kids, and it's a fun little box for them to have on the plane. Or maybe a little activity box too. Wouldn't that be fun? I could come up with ideas all day long. Okay, so sensor at the back. That it's not going to go through. My hands aren't going to get crushed in here. Sticking my hands on, even though it's open. I can't go through this way, even though the sensor's at the back here. Right? I can't go through the back. That is a protective feature. Because if I could go through the back and maybe the sensor gets turned on, then, oh God, my hands are in there. But my hands are in here. Nothing's happening. Okay. It has the run button. It has your power button for turning it on and off. And it has your reverse button, which some machines don't have. So that's a great feature. So light touches, did I cover everything? Wafer thin dies, regular embossing folders, 3D embossing folders, all your different bigs, sizes of the thicknesses of, not thicknesses, but lengths of dies. And again, it's regularly $360. We have it on for $225. It is a pre-order. During COVID, I sold, I think it was 26 or 27 of these machines. So far in the last couple of days, I just sold 5. So it is a good machine. My computer just turned off. Oh, good. Yes, arms, wrists. Oh, it's just amazing for that. I'm not sure if I'm seeing any other comments on here, but if you have any questions, give me a call. And some of the products I just used today, I'm going to show you. We have the Nuvo, whoops, let me turn it this way. The Nuvo Light Mist spray bottles. There's 2 in a package. And then I used the Spellbinders tool-in-one. It has a little holder in here where there's like a little spatula. Well, I opened it at the wrong end, but both ends do open. Let me just turn that side. Your little spatula's in here for picking up papers that might be stuck on the page. This has a little ball bearing in there. That's your piercer. So by having it inside, you take that piercer out so nobody gets stuck. This is that little roller where you have your crazy little pieces like this that get stuck in your dies. Just roll those like that and they all come popping out. Okay. I don't know if you saw that, but yeah, there we go. It's clean. So just like that makes work so much easier. Okay. This roller actually does come off as well. You just pull back on that, line up the little grooves with the little ball bearing, and you just put that in there and stick. There we go. Okay. So you can actually get that on its own, just like I was using. It's a different color now. That's fine. Or we do have it in the all 16-piece kit, which also comes with its storage little bag, canvas bag. It has your different styluses, your quilling tool, your spatula, your offset spatula. It has your roller. It has, oh my goodness, it has your foam little ink blending tool, which we have refills for, of course, and everything, your piercer, the same tool that we have just used. So we have that. Anything else I used? I mean, embossing folders, we have tons. You talk about dies, we have tons. There's no shortage of supplies here. Okay, I'm going to let you go. Oh, I have one more thing to show you. Oh my goodness. Yeah, when you have big dies like this, right? And they don't fit in your regular, it's a wafer thin die. Doesn't fit into the regular Big Shot, okay? Again, it is going to fit on these platforms, and you can create really cool projects. Okay, that was the other thing. So this will open up your world to so many more products, so many more projects. And hey, Deb. Alrighty, so I'm going to let you go. Thank you for watching. If you watch the rerun or the rewatch it, let me know. We love to see who's watching. Okay, good night, everyone.